In my last post, I talked about possible ways to create an EU blogosphere, a community of political bloggers writing about European politics. Today I want to approach the issue from a slightly different angle and ask the question, what is the point of the EU blogosphere? Is it not just a talking shop, an enormous conversation which is incredibly insular and is a waste of time and is of no use to any of the participants? It's a complete waste of effort. Well, no, I don't think it is. I think that's unfair. The EU blogosphere, if it exists, if it ever exists in the future, would be a network. Let's say there's me, I'm a political blogger, and then there's another blogger, and a third and a fourth, and let's add a fifth. Now, we create this blogosphere, we create this network through interaction, essentially. I comment on another blogger's post, maybe I post something about another blog, I might email another blogger, perhaps I'll hear of another blogger through some other person's blog. We write about each other, we have a conversation with each other, we interact with each other. Well, that's fantastic. And all of the bloggers are doing this to each other. We're building up an enormous network. Everyone's talking. There's talking going on everywhere. Everybody's networking and connecting. Fantastic. You've got an enormous waste of time. A huge conversation. And you're not really doing anything. You're just wasting time in front of the computer. Great. Maybe. But maybe it's a little bit more useful than that. It might be a little bit harsh to describe it as a complete waste of time. So imagine there's me. I'm a political blogger. And then there's another blogger. Now, I know a little bit about European politics. Not very much, but just enough. And let's say this other blogger, they know a little bit about web design, but they don't know so much about European politics. Now, I know nothing about web design, and that's that's quite true, I think. But if we create a network between the two of us, well, then I can ask my blogging friend questions about web design. They can ask me questions about the EU, and we can help each other in terms of transferring knowledge between one another, but also in terms of helping each other by spending a little bit of time working on each other's projects. Hopefully we could come up with some sort of EU website together, combining my friend's knowledge of web design and my knowledge of the EU. It wouldn't be very good because my friend doesn't really know web design and I don't really know the EU so well, but it would be a start. And then that brings us to the second aspect of EU blogosphere, the benefits of an EU blogosphere. Because imagine that I put together this video, for example, about why we should have an EU blogosphere. And there's a network between me and other bloggers. Well, now I can get critical feedback about my work. Hopefully I can get constructive suggestions about how to make it better. And if I can interact with people with technical knowledge, then they can give me advice on how to improve my skills, how to make a better video, how to make a better website, how to understand the EU better. There's all sorts of skills which we've built up as separate individual bloggers, doing our own thing. Some of us are very, very talented writers. If we could criticize other people's writing fairly and offer advice, well, we could help people improve their writing abilities. Some of us have a lot of EU technical knowledge. We know a lot about the institutions and how they work. Maybe we've got legal knowledge. This is very, very complicated. It's difficult to understand unless you've studied it a lot. If we can share this knowledge with others, and they can offer advice offer us advice on better writing, we can offer them advice on better on the technical details of the European Union, this would be fantastic. We'd all be better off. Some of us are carrying out interviews with members of the European Parliament, with professional journalists, with members of the institutions. This is fantastic. We need to know how to arrange interviews, tips about how to conduct them, how to record them and to broadcast them. This again is useful knowledge which the community has learnt, and which needs to be better understood by all of us. Website design is another example of a skill which some members of the EU blogosphere know better than others. I know for myself that I'm not an expert on web design by any means, and I would very much appreciate tips on how to make a website more streamlined, more user-friendly, more attractive. These would be very much appreciated, and I know that there are people in the community who have this kind of technical knowledge. And video production. Some of us have produced very interesting videos of a very high quality. I think this is something we could all work on because, as I wrote in my last post, if you can see or hear a human being on the other end of a computer screen, then it creates a connection which just doesn't exist if it's a text-only blog post. There is something about seeing or hearing an actual person speaking which creates a better connection. So I think this is the sort of direction we should be moving in. Trying to create more videos, more multimedia projects, more podcasts, audio blogging, whatever we can do to create that human connection. So, what is the point of an EU blogosphere? Well, I think the point of an EU blogosphere is to create better bloggers. I think the point of an EU blogosphere is to create a network sharing technical knowledge and criticizing each other constructively so as to improve everybody's skills. Now, I hope that you agree with me, and maybe you don't, but in a way, that's sort of the point of the EU blogosphere as well. If you don't agree with me, then let me know what you think the point of an EU blogosphere would be.